How's it going? Everyone, welcome to Movie Summary. Imagine this: you meet someone with a chilling, unnatural smile that instantly sends shivers down your spine. Their behavior is disturbing off, almost inhuman, and then, right before your eyes, they take their own life. The trauma is paralyzing, but it doesn't end there. After that moment, everything changes. You start seeing others, strangers, acquaintances, even the long dead, all wearing that same haunting, twisted smile. Day or night, awake or asleep, they're there, watching, grinning, haunting you. What would you do when the horror follows you everywhere and there's no escape? We are going to talk about the Smile 2 movie, the next chapter in the chilling saga where a malevolent entity uses trauma as a gateway and smiles as its curse. Before we roll into the story, hit the bell icon and subscribe our channel. At the beginning of the story, we see Joel sitting in his car. Let me tell you, Joel was the partner of a girl named Rose in the previous movie. Rose killed herself due to a curse. Joel witnessed her death. So the smile curse spread in a way that if someone saw a cursed person die, the curse would transfer to them. Joel was Rose's ex. She had a different boyfriend at the time, but by the end of the movie, Joel and Rose had started getting close again. Now we find out that it's been 6 days since Joel got the curse. He's watching a gangster's house. When he sees a car arrive, he puts on a mask, grabs a gun, and takes the gangster's partner hostage, forcing him inside to scare the gangster. Joel then kills the partner by stabbing him and tells the gangster to watch him die. However, a fight breaks out between Joel and the gangster, resulting in the gangster's death too. Joel, in tears, says, "No, you can't die. You had to see this." But it's too late. A boy nearby who witnessed everything begs Joel, saying, "I just buy drugs from them. Please don't kill me." Joel replies, "I won't kill you, but forgive me, because I think you were meant to see this." Saying that, he starts to leave the house just as the gangster's other associates arrive, and Joel tries to escape from them. Everyone starts chasing Joel, but he somehow manages to open a window and escape. With heavy gunfire behind him, he runs, trying to save himself. Just as he's about to cross the road, bam! A car hits him. So yes, Joel dies. Joel transferred the curse and gave that boy the gift of death, and now he's saying sorry. Lol, but hey, he got a taste of death himself right after. In the next scene, we see a news interview featuring a pop star named Sky Riley, who's making a comeback. Sky had been in the hospital for the past year due to an accident, and today she finally appears in front of her fans after a long time. We learn that an actor named Paul Hudson also died in that same accident. Sky was a huge star, Grammy winning, and wildly popular, but that tragic accident during her music tour delivered a massive blow to her career. She opens up saying she felt completely lost and, instead of seeking help, turned to alcohol and drugs. Her mental health deteriorated badly, and now she genuinely regrets disappointing her fans. Sky says she's clean now. In a flashback, we see her pulling at her hair, hinting that she might have been in rehab or a mental health facility. At present, her entire schedule is managed by her mother, and she also has a personal assistant named Joshua. Together, they're trying to relaunch her career. Despite being away for a year, Sky's fan base hasn't faded. People are still crazy about her. We see her rehearsing a dance routine, but she suddenly starts experiencing severe back pain. We notice a stitch on her back and a large scar on her stomach, likely from the accident. She takes a pill to manage the pain, but keeps it a secret. These pills seem to be some kind of strong medication, possibly addictive. When someone knocks on the bathroom door, she panics, and all the pills fall from her hands into the sink. Frustrated, she realizes that with an upcoming performance, she can't afford to be in pain. Later, while sitting in a car, she texts someone, "Can I come over?" The guy replies, "Okay." That night, Sky heads straight to his place, but as soon as she opens the door, the boy angrily pulls her inside and even puts a sword to her neck. Sky is shocked and asks if he's okay after all. He had said she could come. We find out that this guy is Luis Fragoli, the same person Joel left behind before dying. Sky had come to get more pills from him, an international lie broadcasted on TV by the Sky. She claimed she was clean and doing fine, but right after that, she shows up here looking for drugs. That's the real truth. Showbiz is a total lie. However, Luis doesn't even remember inviting her. It's clear that his mental state is unstable, and he's under the influence of drugs too. Sky sits down in his room while Luis goes inside to get the pills. At the same time, a TV interview is playing in the background where Sky and Paul were seen talking. It's revealed that Sky was drunk on the day of the accident, something that deeply upsets her. Frustrated, she turns off the TV. We'll hear more about this accident later in the story. Back at Luis's place, he still hasn't come out of the room for a long time. Growing concerned, Sky tries calling him. Just then, the lights go out. Suddenly, Luis bursts out of the room, clearly terrified, like someone or something was chasing him. He stares at something that only he can see, an invisible entity standing before him. Sky, however, sees nothing. In that horrifying moment, Luis begins to choke on his own breath while smiling in a twisted, unnatural way. Sky is confused and scared, following him in panic. Suddenly, Luis smashes his own face with a bench press bar, killing himself instantly. Sky witnesses his brutal death and fear overwhelms her. Instead of calling the police, she grabs her pills and flees the scene. She avoids contacting the police because she knows they might suspect her, especially since Luis had drugs in his apartment and she had gone there to get some. Sky returns home and tries to forget the horrifying incident. She lies in bed, but then sees Luis standing beside her. Of course, this was only a hallucination, or rather, a manifestation of the curse. Her entire night passes in fear and unease. The next morning, while getting ready in the makeup room, her mother asks if she's okay. Sky brushes it off, blaming stress from work. Her mother then suggests talking to her old best friend Gemma, with whom she hasn't spoken in a while. Sky ignores the idea. Later, her friend Darius comes to visit and invites her to speak at a youth event. Initially, Sky isn't interested, but her mother subtly nudges her, hinting that it's a great opportunity to revive her public image. Seeing the potential benefit for her career, Sky agrees to go. In the changing room before the event, Sky looks tense. She remembers vomiting at Luis's place and wants to text Gemma but hesitates, as she had badly insulted her in the past. Just then, she receives a message from an unknown number asking, "Were you in Luis's apartment last night?" Sky panics. As she looks into the mirror, she sees Luis standing behind her, but when she turns around, there's no one there. The curse has clearly begun. In the reflection, Luis is smiling at her in that same disturbing way, which terrifies Sky. She screams. Her team rushes in, and she quickly covers up by saying it was just a spider. She also refuses to wear her costume, saying the scar on her stomach is visible, and she doesn't want to perform like that. Although she continues with dance rehearsals, her mind is clearly elsewhere, full of fear and confusion. Later, while signing autographs for fans, everything seems normal until a creepy man in a yellow t-shirt approaches her. He starts off speaking sweetly, but after taking a photo with her, he grabs her arm tightly and starts praising her obsessively. He's smiling in an unnerving, unnatural way, just like Luis did. Sky is visibly shaken. Security quickly intervenes and escorts her out of the room. Although the incident rattles her, she tries to brush it off, telling herself that these things happen when you're a celebrity and the show must go on. The next time Sky is signing autographs, a little girl approaches her, asking for one, but instead of smiling, the girl just stares at her with a creepy expression. Sky is deeply unsettled by the girl's eerie smile, and it's clear that Sky has now been cursed too. Strange and unsettling things begin happening to her. Feeling distressed, Sky returns home and calls Gemma because she's really missing her. Gemma calls back, and Sky apologizes for their past fallout. She invites her to her house, and Gemma, having calmed down, agrees to come over in 40 minutes. Whenever Sky feels anxious, she used to drink water, so she does the same now. After drinking, she leaves the bottle on the table and starts playing songs on the piano. Suddenly, she hears the bottle fall to the floor, which startles her. As she cleans up the broken glass, she notices something chilling, the same creepy fan's yellow t-shirt that she had signed earlier. Moving further, she finds other items from that man, his shoes, trousers, and even his underwear scattered around the floor. The lights go out and Sky hears footsteps behind her. In a panic, she runs and opens the door, only to find Gemma standing there. Surprised, Sky asks how she arrived so quickly. Gemma replies, "You called me an hour ago, don't you remember?" Sky looks around and sees that everything in her house is back to normal. The bottle isn't broken and there's no sign of the items from the creepy fan. This confuses and disturbs her, and she wonders if it's all just her imagination. Both friends make up and Sky asks Gemma to stay the night. Gemma agrees and offers some advice. She tells Sky not to involve the police about Luis because it could be bad for her career. She also reassures Sky that since Luis took his own life, it's not her fault. Later that night, Sky Sky has a terrifying dream. In the dream, she's crying uncontrollably, and the scene resembles the same horrific accident from her past. Sky wakes up in fear and tells Gemma that everything in her mind has gone wrong. She expresses how whatever she loves always gets ruined by her own hands. There's a noise in her head that she tries to stop, but she doesn't know how. From her words, it's clear that Sky feels extremely lonely and hopeless in life. Then, Gemma says something unsettling and smiles. Her smile is unnervingly creepy. Sky, terrified, falls out of bed, but as she looks around, it's clear that it was just a dream. The morning light is streaming in, and Gemma isn't there. She's gone to make coffee for Sky. Sky feels a wave of anxiety and realizes she's late for her rehearsal. She quickly leaves without thinking much. She had wanted to take Gemma with her on tour, but Gemma declines, saying she needs more time to think and won't come with Sky. At the rehearsal, Sky is backstage, preparing for her performance. She does a dress rehearsal on stage, and everything seems fine. But midway through the performance, she suddenly sees Paul's smiling face, and the sight shocks her. She stumbles and falls on the stage, feeling as though she's hurt her leg again. However, in reality, she's fine. Sky is also losing weight and feeling physically weak. Frustrated, she blames the dancers, accusing one of them of causing her to fall, even though that's not the case. She runs to her room and then sees Joshua coming out of her room wearing that same creepy smile. Upon entering her room, Sky finds it completely destroyed. She's furious and accuses Joshua of causing the damage, but he denies it. They argue, and Sky's mother asks if she started using drugs again. Sky protests, shouting that she hasn't, and even offers to take a drug test if necessary. She vents her frustration, telling her mother that she's not ready for the tour. However, her mother refuses to listen. Instead, she insists that Sky still has to attend Darius's event. Sky is completely overwhelmed, but she has no choice but to prepare for the event, despite not being ready for any of it. The tension between them grows, but in the end, Sky has to obey. At Darius's event, it's time for Sky's speech. She's visibly tense and asks Gemma when she'll be free, but Gemma doesn't respond. Sky's nerves are getting to her as the event progresses. With everything hanging on the edge of uncertainty, Sky, now in fear, realizes that the unknown man knows she was with Lewis the day he committed suicide. The messages he sent her only intensify her fear. It's time for Sky to go on stage, and as she walks out, she begins her speech. She's supposed to read from the teleprompter, but it suddenly malfunctions, leaving Sky uncertain about what to say. Already anxious and underconfident, Sky starts to improvise her speech, and it quickly goes off topic. She opens up about her struggles with alcoholism and drug addiction. She speaks candidly about her difficult life, explaining that people often think success will fix everything, but in reality, fame, money, and success can never heal the brokenness inside. Suddenly, the teleprompter starts moving again, and she ends her speech by awkwardly inviting Paul Hudson to the stage, which isn't possible. The audience grows uncomfortable with her behavior. To Sky's horror, she sees Paul in the audience smiling. He begins moving towards her slowly, which terrifies Sky. In a panicked moment, she pushes an elderly anchor standing next to her and shoves her down. This chaotic scene unfolds in front of the audience, who is baffled by Sky's erratic behavior. The curse is at play, but no one in the audience understands what's happening. After the event, Sky, still in shock, receives a text from the unknown person confirming that everything she's seeing is real. The message includes a video of Louis, and as Sky watches it, she sees the same unsettling images she had been witnessing. Terrified, Sky begins imagining strange occurrences in her room. She finally agrees to meet the unknown man in person. That night, she sneaks out to a club where she meets a man named Morris, who explains the curse to her. Morris reveals that he has researched the curse and tried to warn Lewis before his death. He had visited Lewis's room after Sky, but by then, Lewis had already taken his life. Morris now realizes that Sky is the next victim, which is why he wanted to meet her. He explains the nature of the curse in detail, confirming what we already know. The curse involves a spirit or demon that enters the mind of the victim, feeding on their trauma and driving them to madness until they take their own life. After the victim dies, anyone who witnesses it becomes cursed as well, forcing them to eventually commit suicide. Lewis saw the gangster's death, so he became cursed, and now, because Sky witnessed Lewis's death, she is cursed as well. In the first part, Rose saw Beaver die, so the curse fell on her, and Joel saw Rose die, bringing the curse upon him too. Morris explains that the curse can only be broken before Sky Sky takes her own life. If someone else dies before that happens, the curse can end. He suggests a drastic method. If Sky allows him to stop her heart for 2 minutes, she will technically die, and the curse will be lifted. Afterward, he'll revive her by restarting her heart. Sky, desperate, asks if he wants her to die. Morris responds ambiguously, saying yes and no. Sky is filled with panic and desperation, torn between Morris's plan and the ever-growing curse. He assures her, "I'll make you normal again so you can come back to life." This plan sounds good to Sky, but before they can discuss it further, people in the club recognize her, and she has to flee. Her mother tries to stop her, urging her that the longer she delays, the more the curse will spread. The curse will take over her brain, making it even harder to escape. Sky, however, doesn't listen and leaves anyway. We learn that Morris knows the curse all too well because his brother also took his life due to it. Sky runs home and begins packing her things. She's tempted by pills and, overwhelmed, starts smashing everything around her. Tired and broken, she finally takes the pills. As she exits the house, she sees everyone from her performance chasing after her. Creeped out, she starts running, and the chase feels both terrifying and symbolic of her inner turmoil. The people pursuing her seem to symbolize the curse, relentlessly after her. Eventually, Sky is cornered. They grab her, slam her head into a piano, pull her hair, and forcefully hold her down. One person even inserts their hand into her mouth in a disturbing, unnatural way. It's a chaotic and eerie scene, representing the curse's full grip on her. In the next scene, Sky relives the memory of her accident. She was intoxicated with cocaine and Paul was driving. They argue, with Paul insulting her and calling her crazy. Furious, Sky turns the steering wheel and the car falls down a hill. Sky survives the crash thanks to her seatbelt, but Paul dies in the accident, which Sky feels responsible for. Sky wakes up in the hospital, disoriented, and finds her mother sitting beside her. Her mother tells her that Sky had been unconscious in the living room, which is why she was admitted to the hospital. Sky tells her mother that she can't go on the tour as she's not mentally stable. Sky's hair is pulled out and there are cut marks on her face, but her mother dismisses it, saying that everything will be fine with makeup and they'll start working the next day. Her mother reminds her that many companies have invested money in Sky's comeback, and canceling the concert could lead to lawsuits worth millions. Sky feels trapped, asking her mother if she's just a toy to be wound up and made to work. Her mother emotionally blackmails her, saying that Sky will disappoint everyone, including her fans, if she cancels the tour. Then something strange happens. Her mother smiles in a creepy, unsettling way and says, "I live inside your mind." The atmosphere turns sinister as her mother breaks a nearby mirror, picks up a shard of glass, and begins stabbing herself repeatedly. In a panic, Sky manages to tear open her saline bottle and runs out of the room. But as she reaches the door, the glass shard is in her hand. Sky realizes in horror that she may have killed her mother. Blood stains her clothes, and she becomes overcome with guilt and fear. She decides to run away from the hospital. As she sneaks toward the door, Joshua enters from outside. Sky quickly sends him to get her some soda, then wearing a sweatshirt quietly slips out of the hospital, hoping no one notices. After escaping the hospital, Sky meets her friend Jamma, who offers her a ride. They drive away quickly, with Sky frantically texting Morris for help. She tells Jamma to stop the car, fearing for her friend's safety. Sky insists on going alone to Morris's location, but Jamma refuses to leave her side. As they continue their journey, Sky's phone rings. To her horror, the voice on the other end of the call is Jamma's. This is a shocking twist because Jamma is right there with her in the car. Sky realizes that this isn't Jamma at all. It's the entity in disguise. The entity mocks Sky, saying she's alone and unloved. Sky, shaken, manages to regain some control over the situation, asserting that she's the one in control of her mind. Sky finally arrives at Morris's location, a pizza parlor, where he explains the ritual that will break the curse. The ritual involves her heart stopping in the freezer, after which a drug will revive her, effectively causing her death and rebirth. Sky agrees, desperate to end the curse once and for all. However, things take a terrifying turn when Sky begins to see disturbing visions of herself, two versions of Sky, one representing the evil side of the curse. The evil version of Sky attacks the real Sky, signaling that this is the final battle between them. The entity, in the form of evil Sky, mocks her and says it enjoys wearing her skin and that she cannot escape. The entity even imitates the injury Sky sustained in the accident, further amplifying the horror. The evil Sky attempts to manipulate Sky physically by trying to force a smile from her own lips, but Sky fights back, biting the evil version's fingers and declaring that she's still in control. Sky injects the drug into her neck, and as she starts to lose consciousness, the entity remains, claiming that she's still under its control. The entity continues to taunt her, closing a door and trapping her in this nightmarish scenario. Then the scene shifts drastically. Sky finds herself on stage, back in her butterfly costume, facing a sea of cheering fans. Her mother, alive and supportive, watches from the audience, but the nightmare intensifies as Sky's look-alike, an embodiment of the curse, rips open her own stomach. A grotesque creature emerges from the wound, and Sky, horrified, kneels before it. The creature then breaks her jaw, marking the final horrific moment of the curse's control. This scene is a culmination of Sky's internal and external battle with the entity, blending reality and nightmare as she faces the ultimate consequence of the curse. The end, where Sky's death influences the audience, can be seen as a commentary on how stars, like Sky, become a reflection of our collective emotions and how their tragedies can reverberate in society, particularly in the context of fame. Do you have a preference for one of these theories, or do you see any other deeper meanings in the film? Let us know your thoughts in comment box. Stay with us for more horror movie ending explained. See you next time with a new thriller.